ding dongs, or if you identify as dong dings, welcome to the tap. And on tap today on this episode is a whole lot of Marvel talk. What's coming, what has been, and we got this guy, right? A buddy of mine. His name is Brett Martinez, but we all famously refer to him as Chops, and he is filled with insight that he's just gonna milk out of his brain udders, and he's gonna spew this milk of knowledge all through the airwaves, and I'm gonna try to catch it all in this bucket that I call the Trial and Error podcast, or the tap. There's so many metaphors there. I'm completely lost. I hope it makes sense. Let me just try to translate my stupid talk. We're talking about Marvel, the first phase, everything up to Endgame, and we're gonna review everything that's coming up, because Marvel done released it all. They done spilled it out. And then towards the end of the podcast, we get into some kind of political talk. Nothing too heavy, but it's just anybody that I have on this podcast, I want to have an opinion and not be afraid to say it. So, full disclosure, the first 20 minutes, the audio is going to sound a little blown out. And I will always be transparent with you guys. This whole namesake, Trial and Error. This is a trial. I didn't realize the gain knob was amped up a little too much, so it's going to sound a little blown out, but alas, I fix it, and the majority of the podcast is silky smooth, baby. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this nerdy talk on this episode of The Tap. Mwah.
Trying to get money to cash out. Like you make your arm if you're looking for a handout. I've been on the move for a long time. Fighting with the man on my shoulder, I was dealing with self-doubt. All my life I've been the fucking underdog. Used to wonder how these niggas got it all. I was getting one play a day, now I got a couple thousand on my catalog. See through your niggas know ultrasound.
Big old fancy words. Audio engineer. No, these XLRs. Oh, it's it's all phantom power going into this bad boy.
Oh, is it phantom power?
Yeah.
It might be condensers then, so that's why it's pretty hot.
What does condensers mean? What does that mean?
Hot signal.
Hot signal? The audio's coming in a little hotter? Hot. Oh, God, look at these audio levels. Everybody, I've been recording. I like to do a sneaky record.
Down here, dude.
I don't know what I'm doing. All these knobs, I don't know what any of this does.
If only you knew someone who went to school for
Well, how about you teach me along the way? Ladies and gentlemen, you've stumbled upon The Tap, Trial and Error podcast, yet again. And what's on tap today? We got Marvel. We got Brett the Hitman Martinez, a.k.a. Chops. Woo! There you are. Chops, how are you doing today,
Good,
sir?
Dave, sir. I'm very good.
How good?
Tapping it with you.
We're just tapping it all over the place. Tapping. But I'm not talking, what's it called? Clash of the Titans, but let's get cracking. That's disgusting.
Here, can you hear him?
Get the sound level. Yeah. Sound effect. Very good. So, yes, we have Marvel movies and or comics on tap. You're my movie guy.
This is true.
But
yes.
instead of painting broad strokes and talk about every movie, let's just narrow it down. We're going to narrow down the nerdiness. Keep it Marvel based.
I like that.
Keep it Marvel based. You are wearing a very sexy, very tight Wolverine shirt there.
I think I got this right around the time Logan came out, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Logan was probably the most... It's super hardcore, but at the same time, it does the character of Wolverine justice, of how absolutely maddeningly violent he is.
Yeah, I mean, I recently went back and watched most of the X-Men movies, and yeah, it's on another level for the gnarliness.
It's a good way to close out the character, and if they could do more Marvel movies, like rated R, the story was well done, and it's so naughty. It's
Disney
so naughty.
Yeah. We'll see now because Disney has the rights whether or not they stick with rated R Deadpool.
Spare me your Disney. There can't be anything but a rated R Deadpool. Don't get me started.
I know. I don't know how well that PG-13 bullshit they did with the second one. You know, Once Upon a Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool, I believe it was called.
Is that like a Christmas special, or is it?
They basically edited all super dirty parts of Deadpool out and re-released it around Christmas.
What?
Yeah. It was called Once Upon a Deadpool, and they basically advertised it with that damn kid from Princess Bride, and basically Deadpool was telling him the story.
Ben Savage?
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage,
yeah,
one of those savages.
But
great last name.
Yeah, there was an X-Force movie on the horizon from
X-Force
from that Drew Goddard, I believe. I don't remember what else he did, but I don't know. That might be on the back burner now with Disney.
That is so unfortunate that Disney has just claimed hold of everything. Why don't they have a rated R wing of Disney?
Disney says they're my bitch.
That's my bitch. Disney's rubbing its nipples with $100 bills. I bet they have $5,000.
It's that episode of South Park. Oh, do you not like that?
Oh, I'm
Is that
sorry.
So?
It's like, oh, that bum you out? Oh, golly. Disney cares not. It's a mongrel for money. But we're not going to talk about Disney because we're just going to get all sad, even though it's happy, I guess. But back to Marvel.
Okay.
So yeah, X-Men. What did I start? I wrote down some notes, trying to do diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you do diligence?
Is Diligence the name of a stripper?
Huh. We all wish. I bet there is a stripper out there. Well, no, diligent. Well, actually, my favorite Stan Lee cameo is definitely in the first Deadpool, where he's the strip club announcer. What a perfect way!
Awesome.
What's your favorite Stan Lee cameo?
You know what? The Deadpool 2, where he wasn't actually in the movie, but he's in that teaser preview where he's like in the
Zip it, Stan Lee.
Yeah. He's in the phone booth. That was pretty good.
That's excellent.
One that snuck up on me because he doesn't have a talking part was in the first X-Men movie.
Oh, he's just in the background.
Yeah, he's in
the hot dog vendor
at the beach. Yeah.
That was when no matter what hero franchise is owned by what company, no matter how many CEOs are squabbling over all of it, the first phase of Marvel in its entirety, whether it's X-Men, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, all that stuff.
Not canonically first phase, but yeah.
Well, exactly. But he's the common thread through all the heroes, no matter what's going on outside of the screen in the universe. It's Stan Lee. He's the common thread.
The contracts, like if it's within his power, he gets a cameo no matter what.
It's in his power.
Depending on there's a couple movies he wasn't in because of the shooting location.
Which ones?
X2, I believe, and
no, he's not.
Yeah,
that was my favorite for a while. X2.
But now that I've had a chance to think. My favorite one was probably Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at the very end when he's talking to the Watchers, I think.
Those giant-looking babies.
And he's breaking the fourth wall about talking about all his cameos.
I love that.
That one's a good one.
So then I was a mailman or something. that was brilliant. And
that one time I was UPS guy and I called him Tony Stank.
Oh, that's it. Stank.
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank. I like that. Tony Stank. Anyway, Stan Lee, rest in peace. He's even in a cameo when he's dead. Stanley. He would have been a cool dude to mingle with.
I thought his cameo in Captain Marvel was CGI, but apparently it's not. That was the last one he did.
Which one? So what was his cameo in that one? Spoiler alert, Captain Marvel sucks, but we'll get into it. We'll discuss. We'll discuss. Okay. No, it doesn't suck, but wildly unnecessary.
He's on the bus reading the Mallrats script.
Mallrats?
Yeah,
90s.
And I thought they put his face digitally over a stand-in actor because he had died at that point, but I guess that was the last one he was in.
They just cut off his face and put it on. Disney has...
I want to take his face off.
Oh my! Yes, Nick Cage. Mm-hmm. Ghost Rider.
Didn't like it.
Ghost Rider Nick Cage. He's in Marvel. Look at all these sneaky Marvel people.
I don't know.
Then they made a second one. God, who's writing this shit? I want to say, give me your overall thoughts on the first complete iteration of Marvel, like the Avenger, everything leading up until Endgame. What are your thoughts? Okay, what tickled you? What could have been improved? Give me your overall.
Canonically, we're not counting X-Men and Spider-Man, right?
No, yeah, get them out. Okay, get them out of there.
Yeah, so
keep it pure.
The Infinity Saga, as they
The Infinity Saga, from Tony Stank to Thanos getting dusty.
Oh my God, what a fucking ride, man!
What a ride!
It's our defining movie moment of our lives now. Like, you know how Star Wars was for everyone in the 70s, 80s, their big defining
moment. That's theirs.
Like, Marvel has changed the game with the interconnectivity of this franchise, and they had a couple miscues in the first phase. Like, I was surprised.
Which ones?
The first Thor. It's grown on me, but they made some weird things. They dyed his eyebrows really blonde.
They are a little bizarre in the first. Like, the first Iron Man is pure. Thor, his eyebrows are dyed. He had like the helmet. It was his character's different too. He's super arrogant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they wanted him to start off as that.
It takes place in a little town. His character developments it changes a lot more, and then he just found this sweet spot of just hilarity. But we'll get to that later.
And then obviously Hulk, when they had to change actors, they basically
That was tough.
Yeah, I mean they don't talk about the original Hulk movie anymore.
They reference it subtly enough to where it's like, okay, we all know what happened. I mean, I like Eric Bana, I like Ed Norton Jr., but I think Mark Ruffalo is probably the secret sauce.
They wanted Ruffalo first for the Incredible Hulk, the canonical one in the.
Oh, really?
And unfortunately, Universal owns the rights and said no, we want Ed Norton. So.
I mean, he's still really good. Ed Norton,
good. But when you change actors, it's hard to go back and it's not a bad movie. Like the Abomination.
No.
Yeah, that's a good fight. It's not a bad.
That
movie.
was.
Yeah, and then I like Iron Man 2. A lot of people didn't, but
with Whiplash.
Yeah.
What's that actor's name? The boxer.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke.
And no Terrence Howard. It's Don. I like Don Cheadle as War Machine. War Machine soaked them back to back. I wanted more of that. Give me more action. But Iron Man 1 and 2 were delightful. The third one, I found it wanting.
It was really strange the direction they went in that, and then back to the first phase. The first Captain America is like it's the definition of a setup movie, but it's okay. It's just
okay is probably the best way to
watchable.
No,
in my opinion, at all.
It could have if it was darker. Imagine that is rated R and they get make it kind of like Saving Private Ryan. If they do it justice, but that's not Marvel's sauce right there. That's not their move.
There's a little bit more payoff now that we know where Red Skull went, but for so long it's just like he just disappears out of nowhere. And,
what's it? Hugo Weaving?
Yeah,
he was a. I mean, I love him as an actor. He's a very bizarre guy, but I just.
Is he out there like loco?
Just looking at his face, I look into his eyes and I see madness, the void.
Soul.
There is none. It fell out of his pocket somewhere, but
phase one, they got lucky a little bit, but then Avengers came in and fucking rammed its fist up America's ass.
America's ass. Yes. I remember watching that for the first time in Rohnert Park.
Good God.
And I was left the theater upset because poor Kay.
Yeah.
I will never see a movie this good ever again. I can't go back and watch a movie with a hero. I need many heroes. I need much. Like it was overwhelming how awesome it was. That classic 360-degree single shot around the group.
Oh yeah.
Just I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
How many times did you see it?
In theaters, I will see things once, and then I know, but after the fact, I'll get it and rewatch. I've watched Infinity War on Netflix. I want to say 200-300 times.
Oh, well, yeah.
Easily.
I think I saw the first Avengers 4 times in theaters.
Solid.
Yeah.
Very solid.
It was nice.
Do you dress up at all?
No, I'm not one of those.
You're not one of those. You're one of these. Squishing your boobies together. Just loving it.
Weird.
My nipples are hard. My nipples are always hard for some reason.
So are mine.
It's just, maybe we're excited for life. We're excited for what comes to us.
No homo, by the way, to everyone listening.
No, bro homo.
Oh, that's a new one.
Bro homo.
Okay.
We come up with new things. We sometimes we say things that make sense. Most of the time they don't make sense here in the lunchbox, but it's all good. But the first Avengers, I was gonna lead to the rebound from the first Captain America to Winter Soldier.
One of the best.
Lordy.
Yeah. So what they did with Phase 2 is because after you have the team up movie, like people are always asking, okay, why are we having solo movies anymore? Because all the heroes are available.
Yeah.
So Marvel did a good job at that, and they basically said, hey, we're still having these one-off adventures. They'll still be interconnected, and we'll have certain other characters popping up, as contracts allow, because this is the real world,
It is.
Winter Soldier. Oh my God.
That was so good. I just hate how after that movie he's a nobody. He's a Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Bucky
yeah.
Barnes, like in just the Infinity War and Endgame, he's kind of non-existent. Where he's such a gnarly mofo, in Winter Soldier, he's so amazing.
Yeah. Once you go into the cosmic stuff, though, he can't. Like he's got a metal arm and an assault rifle, and
a weird-looking assault rifle. Looks like
Yeah.
a Bren gun from World War II. Something the British would go into.
Because of the side clip?
Let's put in the side clip. Why on top? Put the clip up my ass. Whatever, as long as
my
bolts
God.
are coming out. Oh,
What did I sign up for here?
sorry. You didn't sign up for nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Your soul is mine,
My
Shang
ass.
Tsung. Sorry, just trying to get the giggles.
No, it's
throughout
fine.
the
I got
ether.
you.
Yay! I was gonna ask you the casting for all the characters. the casting. Do you think that just seems spot on?
Dead on, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I can't imagine anybody but Chris Evans.
As Captain America.
Yeah, or Chris Hemsworth.
I've had multiple people say that, because I talk to people about movies all the time, and I've had multiple people say when they see a Chris Hemsworth movie, they just think this is Thor.
Cool. He's
Yeah,
perfect.
cool.
His voice and Tom Hiddleston as Loki, brilliant. And we're gonna go through the next phase 4, I guess, of Marvel. I have everything pulled up. We'll just go through each one, and maybe you can give us some insight.
All right.
So
what I've heard, that's about it. But yeah,
indeed.
I mean. So yeah, going up to Endgame, just fucking awesomeness.
Yeah.
Like, if I could jerk in the movies, I would.
I mean, you can. You just gotta be sneaky, I suppose. But it's just the writing on a lot of them. There's the funniness that the comedy they're able to weave in there. The best, I think, one-off movie out of that first whole phase, other than I like Doctor Strange a lot. But
See, yeah, that one to me was kind of blah. But
a little blah.
Yeah,
he's different. A change of pace, I guess. But Ragnarok was probably my favorite movie,
Ragnarok
like
was
one-off.
awesome.
With
Yeah.
you get Ruffalo, you get a renowned chemistry with Hemsworth and Hiddleston. Just it's so funny. Like the help, my brother's hurt, and he throws the body at him. And
I don't want to do that one. We're not doing it.
We're not doing Get Help. We're not doing Get Help. And so it's colorful, and I'm really into this kind of modern retro vibe, like the colors. It's super colorful, that movie, and the music.
They tried to go to the 80s with
very
it.
80s.
But it was, Ragnarok is one of the best ones written in that phase, and especially after the crap that was Dark World.
We don't really recall that. I think in Endgame they went back just to.
They've tried a couple times to make it a thing.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
It's not a
Fetch is not a thing. Shout out to Mean Girls. Let's go.
God damn it, Aaron.
No, I'm not above saying the limit does not exist. Again, okay, I'm gonna turn that one off. The limit does not exist. Thor. What are we good? Oh, I was in the very first podcast. I was asking Skylar, what's the sexiest Marvel hero, the most machismo person? I said, obviously, it's Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master. By far the sexiest. But I want to say the most macho moment is Chris Evans holding the helicopter when Bucky's trying to get away.
That's a good one.
And Civil War.
Oh yeah, Civil War.
Good Lord, Civil War. But it's just
kind of a test bed for how many characters they can fit into one movie.
They do it well because it's like, yes, they're all over the place, but they're not in singular like story arcs because they're kind of together. I love Anthony Mackie.
I like how a lot of them didn't know what the other ones could do, and like, Tiny Man is big now. Tiny Man is big now.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really know who they are. Oh, I love Paul Rudd. I thought he was a great Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd. You know he's like 55 or something like that.
Good. He's not 55.
He's like 50, dude. I swear to God.
I'd say 50.
Okay. I mean,
possibly 49 and a half.
A slight exaggeration, but he's.
No, I give it to you. He's probably older than he looks.
He's found the fountain of youth, and we need to go question.
I want to suckle upon it. We need to suckle upon the fountain of youth. But he's a great Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You didn't like that one?
Yeah, I mean, it was
I
there.
liked it better than the first Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Anthony Pena.
Oh.
Carlos Pena.
Luis
Is his
Pena.
name Luis?
Is it Carlos?
I think Luis is his name
that's his name.
in the movie. I think Michael Pena. Michael Pena. That's
Good
it.
God.
Trust me, it's Michael Pena.
All right.
Racism aside, it's Michael Pena.
I'll take your word for it.
Please. And
Just wanna whitewash it.
his recap of everything. Okay, so this happened, right? And then
That's awesome.
Those recaps
That's awesome. He
and
recapped the whole first Ant-Man. You don't even need to watch it.
you really don't.
Yeah.
You really don't. But I guess I'll go to Captain Marvel. Went and saw it. Honestly,
Give me your problems first with it because I really liked it.
I like the action. I really like Brie Larson, Jude Law. I enjoy it. I just saw it as a money grab to put her into its placement. It's just there so she can have, how long is she in Endgame for? All of 10 minutes?
Yeah.
She helps wipe out Thanos in the beginning, then she comes at the end with CGI hair. I didn't know that. I love her all over the place. Brie Larson's sexy. Like even though I guess I found out the other day it was CGI hair. Her shortened hair.
Oh, really?
CGI.
Oh, towards the end. But
Yeah.
I think she literally got that haircut, didn't she?
I want her too. She can rock it. She looks great.
I'm not a big fan
But
of
her
with short hair. But
fighting with Thanos was great.
Yeah.
I want to see her get put to the test because in the first one, I think the marketing kind of turned me off a little bit. She's this female protagonist. She gets knocked down and she stands up. Very cliche.
But that can work with the male protagonist too, man.
It can't. I mean,
so all the girl power stuff to me was very subtextual. That could have easily been a guy getting knocked down and getting up every time. You know, so there were a couple of things where it was obvious that like the pilots didn't like her because she was female, trying to break into the boys' club. But that still could have you interchange that with a male character, someone maybe like Spider-Man when he's weak as a kid, getting knocked down, getting back.
Right.
You know?
I hear you. I think. I'll just put this out there. I know I'm going to offend people with any little thing that I say.
Yeah.
I know I sound very misogynist. I know I sound very misogynist. Oh, it's a girl getting up, but we're at a point in time in society where it's sexy to be pro feminist, which I believe in equal rights. I'll say it right now before the pitchforks and torches.
So many comments.
And let me get these comments. At least that means people are listening.
Yeah, it's true.
But it seemed a little cliche. This groundbreaking. What happened to Wonder Woman?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was Captain Marvel. A good movie. Character strong AF.
Yeah.
I want to see her get put to the test. Love Brie Larson, but I
like Brie Larson too. She could have filled out the ass a little bit better.
Man, so you could
that's sexist too. I'm sorry.
How dare you? How dare you have an opinion?
She didn't have a good enough ass for me. I'm sorry.
You know, I mean, Chris Evans has
That's
America's ass, but
right?
You can tell like when I was watching, she's chasing one of the Kree right onto the subway. And when Brie Larson's running, her knees kind of flail a little bit. It's not the most super heroic run.
Okay.
But when she's about to jump onto the subway, you could tell like she's like boxed form running, and you could just totally tell it's not her.
So, like, to me, the other thing that people bitch about Captain Marvel is that Brie Larson went totally, like, whatever the anti-misog... like, the opposite spectrum of misogynist.
Feminist?
Oh. She went sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
Oh.
She went super hardcore feminist during the marketing, and that turned a lot of people off.
Well, I mean, I get that we're at a time now, I mean, not that it hasn't been bad before, but it's just a strong female character is what's needed. And if she's going to be the face of Marvel, be the leader, I'm about it.
Set it up to that she's going to take over, basically.
Well, I mean, I just want to see her character develop a little bit more.
Yeah, they got to find, because she's so overpowered now, they got to find something to equalize that. So she's got to be tested. I don't know when the next one's coming out, or if they'll do another Avengers first before her next solo movie. Mm-hmm. Because as we'll talk about the slate coming up, there's a lot of stuff missing to me. So
there is, and I'm sure they'll figure it out. But overall, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. I just saw it as a money grab right before Endgame comes out.
I agree with your placement thing. It was weird to place it like that, and it was kind of like a tease for
shameless.
Yeah, like
shameless.
A tease. But like, it was a really strong movie to me, and like I said, all the girl power stuff is very, very substantial.
I'm at the girl power.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I put that in the same vein as how they marketed Black Panther. It's an all African American cast, and I mean, I get it, but it's not this cultural phenomenon that it's supposed to like break down barriers. I love Black Panther. Dope movie. Chadwick Boseman's awesome. Acting, everything's great in it.
But I like how it was also kind of a parable, because they said, I read stuff, I read stuff about how Killmonger is basically like a disruptor like Trump is, and you have a Trump character coming in to take over a really strong country.
Right.
It's like fits our times, and then you have the old guard in the kind of the let's stay peaceful, let's stay isolationist with Chatala and Chadwick Boseman. But I thought it was really great writing, and especially the whole thing about how it was really subversive, actually, how they're going to arm minorities and poor people with advanced weaponry.
Right.
Basically have a race war. I know that's a touchy topic, but...
let's touch it.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's yes, Michael Scott.
Yes.
But I'm just like, why not? Why can't we talk about this?
That's true.
You know, we're a couple of pale skins, but we're not allowed to have opinions.
I was going to say, that's my other point, too, is it might not mean as much to us in the same way that Captain Marvel doesn't mean as much to us as a little girl seeing a female superhero.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Tell me that's not inspiring to see her kick ass. So like, you need to have so many different characters.
So it's the same thing with Black Panther. We're not black. We don't know how it feels for a black person to see an all-African superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, yeah, I totally get that play. I mean, like, that's what it is. It's at the end of the day, I see it as a movie. You can put as much or as little emphasis on the minute details of it. It's like, oh, a whole black cast, this means XYZ to me. I saw it as an awesome superhero movie that's supposed to be enjoyable. And
there were a lot of people really upset with the whole the subtext story about a black uprising. People were very, very upset.
God. People get upset about anything.
Yeah.
Like Michael B. Jordan was a black Johnny Blaze in that Fantastic Four faux pas, that garbage-ass movie.
Don't talk about that movie.
Who cares what color they are?
I know.
They're heroes. These are fictional characters that, well, I mean, we'll get into that later. Yes, they are fake, but I guess that will segue into this next question, because I was going to talk about why Marvel shits on DC, but yeah, we'll spare ourselves the jibber jabber.
I mean, I would only say that DC's in the unfortunate situation. They went dark, which I really like, but a lot of people again fucking they can't handle it. I don't know what the hell their problem is.
Just let the story
watch the ultimate cut of Batman vs Superman and apologize to Zack Snyder, all you haters.
That is pretty good. Yeah. There's more fighting in it. Yeah. It's for them. I feel like they tried to play catch up way too quickly, because Marvel has over a decade of here's a character, here's a story, here's a character, here's a story. Whereas I don't know how they were able to pull it off in Civil War. They introduced Spider-Man and Black Panther in one go, but it felt so natural. It's like you know who these characters are. Yeah. Let's weave them in. You know a little bit of the story, and then they get their own one-off. Whereas in Justice League, they just toss it all at you at once.
Yeah, I mean
a little bit. I didn't hate Justice League.
The setup. Well, I've watched it. It's actually had the opposite effect on me. The more I watch it, the more I'm like,
oh no.
But but they shouldn't have tampered so hard with Batman vs Superman, and they should have advertised it better, because people were expecting this big throwdown between Batman and Superman, and you do get that. Like, Batman almost kills him with that. It's
close.
Spear. And everyone, is all so pissed off about that Martha thing. It's so stupid.
That was bizarre.
Well, okay, but in that second, read more into the context of it. In that second, when Superman, who's being choked to death, and all he can think of is like, you're gonna let them kill Martha. In that second, Batman goes, "Oh, I'm that fucker who killed my mom now.
Oh,
I'm now that fucking asshole who's killing this guy, who's letting this poor guy's mom die."
So you're saying don't take things for face value, perhaps do a little more thinking onto what the situation is.
Read a little bit deeper into the scene. People who get so pissed off about that whole Martha thing are just not understanding the feeling that Batman is having right there.
Well, when you're giving me this logic and factual evidence, you're really taking the wind out of my irrational sails.
Exactly.
Piece of shit. So.
Okay, now that we've said our piece about DC,
yes, moving.
Yeah.
So, why do you think superheroes are so impactful in today's society? It's like you can't go anywhere. There's toys.
Yeah.
We're getting deep. It's like we idolize these new age of Greek gods, right? We believe in them.
There's a couple different facets about that.
Facets.
Yeah.
Good word.
Yeah.
Look at you.
There's everyone wants to believe that they're special and that they're destined for something. And superhero movies play to that most of the time. What are you doing? You're just moving knobs.
I'm just moving knobs. Moving knobs, people, on the audio recorder. But it's good. I think this was actually picking up a lot more, just blowing it out.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's probably the gain.
The gain.
The gain. Yeah.
But we'll talk about. We'll have an episode, not this time.
Yeah.
Save it for next time, and let's talk about audio engineering, what you've learned, and
it's pretty rusty. But yeah, I remember a lot of the principles. But anyways, so yeah. I'm impressing you with these college words.
You are behind a Gatling gun of vocabulary, and I'm just getting lit up like the Japanese, like the samurai in The Last Samurai.
You set yourself up for that.
Getting edited, sir.
No,
I'm Tom Cruise, and it's just tom. You're just mowing us down. I was trying to charge you with my ignorance.
Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah.
Superheroes impact, like Marvel and DC, and like just heroes in general. Why are they such a wild success or a huge impact?
Two facets to that, like I was saying. People want to believe that they're special and destined for something greater than a mundane life, let's say. So that's one part of it. But the other part of it is we grew up with this shit as kids. Like, Marvel has been around since I can remember. Mm-hmm. Obviously we're not that fucking old, but
no.
But
we're on our prime.
I mean, I go back to the Spider-Man and the X-Men cartoons from the 90s. Like,
oh, brilliant. On Saturday mornings.
Yeah, that made me want to see this live action stuff.
Oh, man, with Rogue with that sexy southern accent.
They were all fucking sexy. Have you gone back and watched it?
Oh my god, those cartoons are drawn
butt cheeks, dude.
Yeah, butt cheeks. It's quite lewd.
Yes,
quite lewd.
Also, another reason why men love comics is because they're geared towards us.
Dear God, I mean, I got these comics posted up here on the lunchbox.
I like it.
I like it. X-Men. Hombres Aquis.
Hombres Aquis. What's it? Guys here?
Aquis.
Yeah.
Aquis.
Hombres.
Aquis hombres.
Okay, got you.
Hombres de Aquis.
Yeah, your accent is terrible.
I can do a morning Spanish radio host. Claro que sí.
Keep going.
555. Ya me ahorra. Soy el Cocuy por la mañana. And I'm done.
Donde está la biblioteca? Tango,
right here,
Tango,
buddy.
Gato, and mis pantalones.
So many. That was Martin Lawrence in Blue Streak.
Thank you.
Golly. Yeah, I'm an educated man.
You said you had a big cat in your pants.
Big cat in my pants. So I think that was a very well-rounded answer of just where we resonate with it. There's a lot of nostalgic value.
It's nostalgia. I mean, we grew up with this stuff, and we've all wanted to see it on the big screen. And now technology is caught up too. That's another aspect. All the CGI is caught up to making these realistic. But it's also just that superheroes, like I said, people want to aspire to something better. But they also want to believe that there's, especially now in America, that there's some fucking justice out there.
Yeah.
Because usually the good guys win because the nature of comic books is they keep going.
Right.
So there's always more stories to tell. But people want to believe that the bad guys get their comeuppance and that justice wins out.
And there's a million other comic book producers, manufacturers, other than Marvel, where there's a lot of darkness. There's there's anime,
Spawn,
there's
yeah.
Spawn, Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of darkness. So before I go into, I'll just say there's an excellent documentary on YouTube. It's like hour and a half, and it just goes into when comics first started coming out, say around World War II. You got Captain America, and you have all these other characters, and they came out in a pivotal time that kids and people can rally behind it emotionally, like the war, and these fictional characters.
Up Nazis, especially with Captain America.
Punch them in the face, and then it just evolves from there. Like the X-Men in the '60s, right? You have
dated metaphor for racism in the '60s,
right? It's Black Panther, literally Black Panther. That's why I liked.
We're cool, bro.
No, we're cool. That's why
I'm doing
liked,
Deadpool 2 right there again when he's talking to the black guy outside of the school when
gotcha.
When File Fist is lighting shit up.
I need to. I'll rewatch number 2.
Oh my god, Aaron!
Well, I need to rewatch something about 50 times before I can quote it effectively. But
Lord.
Black Panther taking place in Oakland.
They say alcohol affects the memory.
Does it? I say let's cheers to
Okay,
that.
cheers.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, where was I going? But yeah, the impact on society, profound. It's weaved into our culture, into our DNA.
Especially now, yeah.
So talking about nostalgia and how you grew up with it, straight up, your favorite hero.
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's been a couple.
One that stands above them all.
Probably Wolverine.
Wolverine?
Since I'm wearing the shirt, yeah.
Is it Hugh Jackman or is it a yellow spandex riddled Wolverine with the weird eye things?
The eye things. You know what? I'll say. This is an unpopular opinion. I hate his comic book costume. I really do.
It's so. Dare I say the word? Flaming. Every superhero costume is so like you see that at Pride Week, like absolutely.
I mean, it's designed to sell because bright colors pop.
They do.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's designed to sell comics because let's have a colorful character in a situation like that.
Look at the wall. Look at all those colors. It's not black and white. It's not normal. Very colorful.
You've got more modern ones up here with more subdued color palettes, I would say.
Subdued.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not the bright yellow and blue.
Oh, compared to the 60s or 70s. Yeah, those were just bright.
Yeah.
Brightness.
Yeah, so bright.
Brightness with a lot of dark lines.
I would say Hugh Jackman is the definitive Wolverine of my generation. I like the voice actor from the 90s cartoon because he's badass.
Yeah. That was pretty. I don't know his name, but Mark Hamill's the voice of the Joker from the Batman series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
He's had a lot of work voiceover. I thought he disappeared off the map after Star Wars, and he's just been,
he's working,
snapping necks and cashing checks
all the time. Yeah. Snapping more necks and he's rich. He's a millionaire.
He's a millionaire. Yeah. So definitely Wolverine. I always like Colossus too because he. Yeah.
That was my favorite X-Men for the longest time. He's indestructible. He's this big Russian stooge that whoops ass. I like him in Deadpool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Deadpool will break yours. It's just that thick Russian accent. But
yeah, see, Spider-Man is a good one. You know what? Before they started doing Avengers, I didn't know a lot about the core characters beyond
me neither.
Captain America and Iron Man. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was completely introduced. I was a fan of them. I did not know backstories. I didn't know motivations or intent or the pasts that they've had, darkness, whatever, their development.
Yeah.
A whole lot of nothing. So I just got schooled on all of it. And I'm sure that
for so long, X-Men and Spider-Man were the A roster of Marvel, and then
that was it.
Because
Tobey Maguire, my man,
pounded.
dude, he's my Spider-Man. That first one with Willem Dafoe.
That one is awesome. That's my favorite Spider-Man.
Willem Dafoe.
The part 2 is not bad. Part 3, how can you fuck that up?
Oh, they fucked it up real
so
good.
Bad.
They had Topher Grace. They had Sandman. They have Tobey Maguire dancing.
God.
I like Kristen Dunst.
Topher Grace wasn't terrible, but there's so many other misexecutions in that movie. They didn't need Sandman at all.
No.
They just could have had the battle between fucking New Goblin and Spider-Man be the
Hobgoblin.
the new Hobgoblin, whatever he was called, and then have Venom show up like he did. And of course, how is him dancing and playing jazz piano the dark side of Spider-Man? Yeah.
Get a touch on this. Or whatever he says. I'm like, Toby, that is not you, baby. That ain't you.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
I love that meme.
Go make me some more cookies. Do you have any with macadamia nuts in them?
Go.
You want to make me some? Okay, go.
Not, that's so ridiculous. Why is he doing that?
No, that part's kind of awesome because he's taking advantage of that little crush that little Russian girl has on him. But
she's cute.
Yeah.
Well, she's cute.
Maybe.
For, a tavern wench.
Give me a beer, wench.
So I guess this is associated with the impact that heroes on society. Like, they're fake, quote unquote. They're actors. But when you see, say, Tom Holland dress up, do a backflip, or Star-Lord Chris Pratt go to a children's hospital, and you see these kids light up, these are their heroes. You see Robert Downey Jr., by far the best out of the lot. Best actor out of the lot for sure.
There's a whole...
Or best execution of his character.
South Park did a whole story arc on how fictional characters are more important to us than real people sometimes in our lives.
Is that far from the truth?
I know. How many of you can say that Superman or Luke Skywalker hasn't had an impact on you as a person versus someone real in your life besides your parents?
It's like, say Star-Lord walks into your hospital bed, or a government official, or your local mayor. Who gives a shit about those guys? They can't fly. They have no juice.
Yeah.
That is a very good point, that fictional characters. I mean, I might get a lot of people upset saying this, but religion, like Jesus or the Greek gods, these possibly. I mean, who knows? Who knows really?
Allegedly,
fictional characters.
Allegedly.
It's just But at the end of the day, they're all stories.
Yeah,
they're all words. They're all derived from imagination.
Yeah, and stories can have a profound impact on a collective group of people as well as the individual. But it's always about stories impact you. They relate. I don't want to get into morals and shit, but they relate.
Oh, please.
Yeah, they relate morals. They relate cautionary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think a friend of ours is watching Sons of Anarchy, and he's blown away by how gruesome it is. And I'm like,
it's pretty gnarly.
I told you, and he's like, don't spoil it for me. I'm like, okay, all I'm gonna say is the whole series is a cautionary tale. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
It's and we can live vicariously through these characters.
Yeah,
you can
also,
imagine yourself. Oh, it's my favorite character because I'd want those powers.
Yep.
We play them in video games.
The classic debate of what superhero power do you want? And there was this, you know what I just watched was, it's not that great, but Shazam is okay, but I watched Shazam.
Was it good?
Just very blah to me.
I just did it like he looks so cliche.
The best part of the movie is the kid talking to the other kid who becomes Shazam, and they're talking about the classic debate of what superhero power do you want, flight or invisibility? Most people say flight. Because that's what a superhero does, is fly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask people anonymously, they say invisibility because we're all pervs.
Oh, absolutely. Did you ever see Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I saw
Miles Morales. I didn't know there was. I mean, it's so cool to come up with different iterations.
But another reason why Sony will not sell Spider-Man to Marvel,
probably
or Disney.
One of my favorite animated, if not my favorite animated movie of all time.
I mean, because it's not purely animated. It's really good.
Not pure. What do you mean?
It's not cartoon.
It's very I mean 3D rendered.
3D rendering and CGI and a lot. Yeah.
It's such whatever.
Which translates better to modern day HD high definition stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can tell it's just when there's a close up on their face, it looks like a comic book, and it's it is 3D.
Oh yeah.
But it's so well done. The voice acting, the lineup of voice actors on that.
I didn't realize how a lot of people in there. Yeah. But yeah, that was good. And that's part of the reason that Sony's like, fuck you. We're not gonna do this 50-50 split, even though that's perfectly reasonable.
It ain't about the fans, baby. Now, what Casey Fletcher was telling me about yesterday is like a big portion of what Disney owns are the rights to merchandise. And he said those make infinitely more money than the movies because they're only out for a finite amount of time. And DVDs, everybody's gonna buy out at least something, but toys, you can come up with new toys. You can get Iron Man, you can get next level Iron Man with 3 arms and 20 legs, whatever it is. I'm just speaking crazy, but I didn't realize how much more you would make from merchandise worldwide. And they do span borders, right? Like, superheroes are renowned everywhere in the world.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a certain thing to say that there's an anti-American sentiment out there, but I think a lot of younger kids even still are like, oh yeah, we love Captain America because that's what Americans are supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. But they definitely span borders. And then there's this, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things. There's this Russian movie called Guardians. Just Guardians. And I don't know if it's dubbed in English or not, but it's basically they bring 4 crazy ass characters together. There's this guy who like transforms into a kind of werewolf-ish or bearish look, and he's got like this giant minigun.
It's just kind of wacky.
I heard it's a little wacky, but it's very well produced. Apparently, they only made it for like $10 million, but it looks like a Hollywood movie.
I'm a sucker for pure entertainment. If something delights me, say Cabin in the Woods, such an obscure, ridiculous movie, but it's so entertaining. For some reason, I was just sucked into it. I was like, this is so stupid. It's silly. It's ridiculous.
It gets very strange.
And I can't get enough.
There are a couple laughs in there, but it just gets very strange.
Absolutely.
Spoiler alert that Hemsworth dies within the first half an hour.
That's so funny. And then at the end, like all the monsters break free. They're like, this is a ridiculous movie. So we're going to give you a ridiculous plot and things happen. So they don't pretend. That movie doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a joke. Yeah. It's an absolute joke. So going back to the Marvel sphere, if all the Avengers fought to the death, say Civil War, that scene in Civil War.
Are we going to the strongest Avenger debate here between Thor and Hulk again?
To the death. Who wins?
To the death.
Who would it, like, Black Widow, she dead.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's dead.
They're 2 of the weaker ones. They have
Falcon dead.
Falcon, yeah. He's a tech guy.
He's a tech guy.
Iron Man and War Machine probably dead.
I think Vision just kills everybody.
Vision is very strong.
Since Hulk's not there. Vision kills everybody.
Are we talking specifically in Civil War, or you want to go?
Well, I guess we can go. I mean, Hulk would definitely cause some damage.
Hulk, yeah. I mean, Hulk almost killed Thor in Ragnarok.
Almost. If it weren't for that son of a bitch, what's his face?
The Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster, Chef Goldblum. Chef. I love James Spader as Ultron. People don't like Age of Ultron very much.
Yeah, no, I like Age of Ultron's pretty cool.
I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I like Quicksilver. I like oh my goodness, he's in American Horror Story. He's the Quicksilver in X-Men.
Oh, okay. Evan something or other.
Evan Peters? Evan Peters. He's a very good, and I love, oh God. He's in 300. He's the young Magneto.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah,
if they could give me a one-off Magneto movie where he's young and hunting down Nazis in South America, like that scene in First Class.
Yeah, I was gonna say you already got that. They're not
gonna go any further than First Class. I want more Fassbender.
Yeah, the modern, the quote unquote modern trilogy. If you do not see Dark Phoenix, it sucks.
I'm so lost with all the X-Men bibble babble. No idea what's going on.
Oh, you have okay. So
well, it's like last I saw was
there's the first 3
Days of Future Past.
That's okay. That's part of the modern trilogy.
Okay.
There's the first 3, the X-Men, X2, and Last Stand.
Yes.
And then First Class is kind of there's quote unquote reboot, but not really. And then First Class leads into Days of Future Past,
right?
Which then goes to Apocalypse.
Right.
Those 6 are pretty good to me. I mean, especially now since Last Stand is just a chapter in it.
Yeah.
People were so mad at Last Stand. Oh my god.
I mean,
I really liked it. I'll say it out loud. I liked the Last Stand.
Whoa! You realize I can edit this, right? Wild animal.
Anyways, so Yeah, people were really mad that they killed Cyclops and fucking Professor X.
Whatever.
But so now, since it's only a chapter and they undo a lot of that spoilers in Days of Future Past, and I enjoyed Apocalypse too. Like, it's grown on me.
I like the actor that played Apocalypse.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in a
very
obscure
people
movie.
got mad that he never grew like giant, except for in the fight sequence in the mind fight sequence between him and Xavier. Why do people get so mad about stupid bullshit like that?
I can't tell you. They set expectations, and then when it doesn't
Aaron,
reach
as a younger millennial, please,
millennial.
Yeah, please tell me why people are so outraged about everything.
You set expectations before you go into something instead of letting the story guide you to where it wants, or just take the story, enjoy it for what it is, and don't set yourself up for failure. That's why anybody that plays Joker people hated Jared Leto. Because, he's not Heath Ledger. Of course he's not Heath Ledger.
Yeah, no one's going to be Heath Ledger.
Nobody touches that, but that's why I'm excited to see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, because it looks like it's his own edition.
It's an origin story, and it's definitely going to be better than Leto. I was not
rated R.
Yeah,
let's
rated
go.
R.
So
but it's going to exist outside of everything we know. Apparently, this is a true new origin story for him. So we'll see how it plays out. I kind of like that Joker is just an anarchist in Dark Knight, and you don't know his real origin. Mm-hmm. Like, he keeps telling different stories. He's just there. Different stories throughout the movie.
That's so bizarre. I think that's an actual, I can't say for sure, a mental disorder where you'll tell a different story about something that happened in the past or whatever.
Trying to fuck with whoever he was trying to fuck with.
Just different ideas of like stories how he got these
scars.
scars.
I got these scars.
I actually just thought it's makeup. I mean, it's all jokes. I'm Heath Ledger.
Don't pull back the string, man. We have kids listening.
Pull it back. So, gotta keep this. I like to keep these bad boys within an hour. So, within the next 15 minutes, let's go through this next docket of Marvel. Mm-hmm. They're just giving us breadcrumbs and all of us thirsty fans. Please, sir, can we have some more?
To the new phase. Okay.
The new
Very nice.
phase. So I'll go through chronologically. Oh God, I almost missed that word. That was tough, but I was able to pull it out.
You look stressed right now. Is your head okay?
I pooped my pants a little bit, but par for the course.
That's the smell. Okay.
It's only 2 times a week now. It's good.
That's an improvement.
Getting better. I'm getting better. Yeah. So. Don't know how I can do this, but on May 1st, 2020, we got Black Widow.
Long overdue.
So is this a prequel, obviously?
I heard it takes place in between like Civil War and Infinity War when they're on the run.
Wow. I guess that would make sense, but I mean they're not bringing her back.
No. This is definitely further back in like phase. What is it? Phase 3. It's like in between. It's after Civil War when they're on the run.
Ooh, Rachel
and
Weisz
I hear. And I what? What do you say?
They got Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh as Yelena Bavala, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour.
So hot. Want to touch the hiney?
And Noxuna Moon. Oh, no. She's Nefertiti.
No, she was Nefertiti.
I corrected myself. How dare you? Looking forward to... I mean, we're going to watch it, obviously.
Apparently, the villain is Taskmaster. I don't know a lot about it.
Taskmaster.
Apparently, he has, like, really good muscle memory, and he can copy you, whatever you do.
Is that what you make the ladies call you in the bedroom?
I wish.
Taskmaster. Okay, moving forward. What can you tell me about the Eternals coming out November 6th, 2020?
Don't know a lot about the Eternals. I think Miss Marvel is a character in that. A completely different character from Captain Marvel, apparently. So I don't know much about the Eternals except that they're some kind of cosmic force.
Cosmic force. Yeah. Well, I like the name, so cool. Yeah. Moving forward, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Big name, unsexy name, does not flow off the tongue.
It's a lot to get out, when you're trying to spit it out. Apparently, I think Shang-Chi is like Marvel's version of Bruce Lee. Like, he doesn't really have powers. He's just a master martial artist, I believe.
I prefer Chun-Li, if I'm being completely honest.
I like her too.
Oh,
but I guess he's gonna actually take on the real Mandarin. And,
okay. All right.
And the Ten Rings back from way back in Iron Man 1 and whatnot, and Iron Man 3.
Oh, I know the Mandarin there.
Yeah, the Mandarin was in Iron Man 3, and the Ten Rings is what Tony escapes from when he builds his first prototype.
Okay, I really recall that.
Yeah, Ten Rings is like it's like Marvel's version of
the terrorist group.
Yeah, a terrorist group like Taliban or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So coming out May 7th, 2021, my buddy, big movie buff. He would easily. We could pull up a third mic, have him here, but unfortunately he's down in Southern California, like an idiot.
Mr. Fletcher.
Not Mr. Fletcher.
Oh,
Mr. Roberts. Mr. Chris Roberts.
I don't know that guy.
He was telling me, as my big from the fraternity. I'll have a podcast about my fraternity days.
He broke in your cherry, did he?
That he did. Yeah, he was honestly awesome dude, and honestly, you'd be impressed with his movie prowess, his knowledge.
All right.
He's one of us. We recognize our own.
Yes, we do.
So, anyways, he said it's Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. He said when he does his research that this will be the first movie that's essentially a horror film.
I've heard that, and Scarlet Witch is going to be in it apparently.
That tickles me.
And then to not to leave out.
Oh yeah,
all
she's
the,
in it. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, it's just a great name. Like
my
Engelbert
God.
Humperdinck and Benedict Cumberbatch. Just quintessentially very...
Is Humperdinck from Princess Bride?
No, that's an
Engelbert-
actual person.
No,
Engelbert Humperdinck is an actual singer. like a jazz, like big band singer. That's a real person, and I think that's his real name.
I do. All right, so I know this is theater of the mind. I'm going to describe this to you. We have empty beer cans, and there's a sink yonder in the lunchbox. We're going to try to toss these in there. Is your beer empty, sir?
Yeah, let me
Finish it. I'm going to toss mine with my right hand.
Wait. Or what are we betting here?
I mean, I could get us another beer. No bet. Why do you degenerates always betting?
Just
$5,000.
Just go.
Score.
Okay. You're also closer than me, you dick.
Well.
Miss.
Boo!
Boo this man.
We all booed it. I'm sure you all heard what happened. Anyways, Dr. Strange. I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's
Benedict.
Yeah. I don't
He's
see
so
anyone
good.
else playing him, but I didn't. Yeah,
There's
like
no
I said,
way.
the first movie was very blah to me. This one, we'll see what happens. Maybe because they said that they're bringing in. They said the multiverse is the easiest way to bring in like the X-Men and the other and Fantastic Four.
Let's hope.
And the other characters that they now acquired.
I've lost hope for whatever Fantastic Four they're bringing in. After that last movie, that just really castrated.
I mean, a couple actors they could bring over, the Mr. Fantastic and the girl who played Invisible Woman because she's hot. No, she had a cameo in.
Just because she's hot,
yes,
does not make her a hero. What if there's ugly heroes? Why aren't there any ugly or overweight heroes? Heroes of perhaps from the Philippines or something. I'm going off on tangents.
Wait, are you saying Filipinos are ugly?
No, I'm saying we always see are proper whites or black guys.
We're having white cake.
Where are the other ethnicities in my hero soup?
Wow.
Whatever
heroes,
you say.
Okay, here's the reason they won't cast ugly heroes.
Why is
because
that?
they won't sell tickets.
No, they won't.
Okay, that's I could be PC about it, but I'm not.
It's okay.
Anyways,
let's
back to
have
what I was
opinions.
saying.
Let's have opinions and then stick to them. And we're gonna get judged and hated on for being too PC. Whatever. Who cares? Let's have fun. And
back to what I was saying
speak
about
our
the
truth.
Fantastic Four. The Kate Mara, that's her name. She had a cameo in Iron Man 2, so she's out. So I think.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she had a cameo. She serves Tony her papers to appear at the congressional hearing. Because Tony was trying to hit on her, naturally. And she goes, "You've been served. This is a notice to appear before the Congressional Defense Committee."
That's not Kate Mara. The one that he bangs in the first one?
No, second one. Iron Man 2.
Second one. I would need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
I do have it, though.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Forward. All right, very good. November 5th, 2021, Thor, Love
Thor.
and Thunder.
Not super excited for that one.
But it's written by the same guy that did Ragnarok.
Yeah. It could turn out to be good. I judge movies based on rewatchability. I will probably see it because I see them all.
You have to.
But I'm not super excited about Natalie Portman taking over. Apparently, she's gonna be female Thor.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Why not? No, I like
mean,
Natalie.
she's a good actress, but she's been gone from Marvel for so long.
Well, they broke up.
Well, they broke up, but she also said "fuck Marvel." I think,
Really?
in not so many words.
Oh.
Yeah. Now she's
It's
coming
only
back.
2 words.
Now she's coming back because she gets to play a hero.
That's pretty. I mean, that is nice. We got to see a very sexy Gwyneth Paltrow perform in. Well, she was in Endgame, but when she got all red hot, literally.
Iron
in
Man 3.
3.
Yeah. They put her
Quite
in that
nice.
spandex. Like
Spandex. She,
God bless the man who invented fucking
Gwyneth
yoga pants.
Paltrow. She is absolutely delightful and lovely.
You're betraying your whiteness right now.
So, so what? So what?
Do you know she has a website called Goop?
Goop?
Goop. And it's very white bread. Like all things that rich white people would love.
I've not stumbled upon it, so
Don't.
I'm happy. Taking a mighty turn from the whiteness, Blade, starring Academy Award winner Marshala Ali.
God, we're so white.
Coming
We
out
can't
of,
say it.
I mean, they're gonna bring this in. I guess they're gonna completely ignore
be
the
a
fact that
while.
he was in
Long time.
Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, the connectivity with the Netflix stuff doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Nor should it.
Yeah.
Those the first Jessica Jones I thought was good.
Yeah.
The first maybe 2 seasons of Daredevil, just because Punisher's in the second one.
Yeah.
So I love John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. He's
But
a great Punisher. Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Wesley Snipes' Blade, but I feel like this dude's gonna do a great job too.
Those first 2 Blade movies are classic. I like the
Third one's a joke.
Jesus Christ! Again, the curse of the trilogy.
It's the Trinity, and Triple H is in it, but so is Jessica Biel and Ryan
Biel.
Reynolds. She's smoking.
Jessica
hot,
Biel. Good God.
and Chris Christopherson. Down for all 3.
Was he in the third one?
I think so.
Oh, he dies early on. That's
Yeah,
right.
a little
Yeah.
loser. I'll be
Blade
happy to
sounds
see it.
cool. I'll see it.
Why
Yeah.
not? And then we got Black Panther sequel. Not much on that.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about what's happening with that one.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with the comeback of James Gunn.
Oh yeah, back on it, baby.
So did he apologize and like, okay, we forgive you?
I don't know if he so much apologized and did a mea culpa as much as like Disney like finally didn't like listen to all the outrage seekers. Like these tweets are so old, and the guy was doing them in a sardonic way, being trying to be funny basically.
Yeah.
Like they're gross tweets. I agree with that, but he was just trying to basically stir the pot.
Well,
as they say.
that's not acceptable anymore because I feel like we pander to the outrageous, those that are seeking to just set a fire and just get pissed off over everything. That's why it's like we want to say something, let's fucking say it. Like I don't want to pander any. Like of course I want to be
There
PC.
are
I'm not going to be
limitations,
racist or anything. Like that's not me.
I know,
but I want to say something. And,
I would say in
have an
today's
opinion.
America there are limitations though because of a certain orange asshat that is flaming. Stoking the fire.
Of course,
Yeah.
so it's like that's. I feel like we're still on the opposite end of the spectrum from that guy, the orangey, Trump. But
Why'd you say his name?
Dude, fear in the name only increases fear in the thing itself. Voldemort. But no, it's just like why not have an opinion regardless of who you are, what color you are. Have an opinion.
Unfortunately, the double-edged sword of that is that there are a lot of people with the ass backwards opinions now coming out of the woodworks.
Let's let them have their opinion. So what? To us, our opinions are ass backwards to them, or people are just they want to get offended just because they feel like they're making a difference.
I know. But let's not go off on that tangent.
No, yeah. So all right, back to what matters. Captain Marvel 2, director who knows, writer who knows.
Yeah.
But post-production coming in 2021. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus.
We're leaving out all the Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah.
There's like 6 shows coming.
Are you gonna get Disney Plus?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious about it, but like I usually buy good Marvel movies when I like them, and Star Wars, and that's their 2 main draws for me. I have a certain way of watching stuff without paying for it that I won't divulge.
Oh, please do.
Nope.
Do not do it. You'll have your ways.
Yeah, I have my ways of seeing it, so we'll see. It's not a bad price point, I would say. And they're also bundling ESPN Plus and Hulu Plus with Disney Plus.
Oh, look at them glow.
Yeah.
Look at them go.
Yeah,
For what, like $15 a month? Or
something like that. Basically, they're trying to
That's not bad for all of
Basically,
it.
they're trying to undercut Netflix, and it's the exact same price. Whatever Netflix now is right now.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, they're basically saying, okay, now you get ESPN, now you get Disney Plus, and now you get Hulu for the same price as Netflix.
It's only a matter of time, but it's only a matter of time between before Disney buys out Netflix.
Yeah.
They're gonna buy out everybody. Everything.
No, I don't know if they'll go that far. But like, we could do a whole other podcast on the problems with streaming diversity and whatnot.
We'll keep it real.
Yeah.
We'll keep it real. I love the chemistry that Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan
that was
have
awesome. Sebastian Stan.
Stan off the screen on it. It's so like when they're laying next to each other. I hate you.
Could you move your seat forward? No.
No. He's just looking forward. No. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
WandaVision, I don't know.
I mean, apparently that's gonna tie directly to Doctor Strange and the multiverse. So
really,
yeah.
But it's a show.
Apparently,
it's gonna be a show or a movie. Like
no, it's a show.
Yeah,
but it's apparently there might be something important that happens in there. So I wouldn't.
I'm sure
skip it.
There will be, but I mean, they got Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen in it, so I'm a Paul Bettany guy. I like Paul Bettany.
I like that,
especially in A Knight's Tale.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that.
It's a good one. Oh,
he's like the hype man.
He's the hype guy. Yeah, you see some Dave Paul Bettany booty in that movie.
Why is that the most important part to you?
It's not important to you. Are you kidding me? Well, when else do you get to see Paul Bettany tookus?
But I like it big.
It is
I'm not really concerned about that.
Oh, well, I am. Anyways, Loki.
Yeah, interesting. Apparently, it's gonna be right after he disappears with the Space Stone.
Yep.
In that branch reality. From Endgame, the one they couldn't clip. Yeah, that was the only one they left open. Apparently,
he just sucked out, and then he's like,
he grabbed the cube and was gone.
That was so funny. I don't know that Endgame. What a brilliant, well done.
But
Brilliant.
apparently, he's going to be a lot more evil in this series, like he was in 2012 when Avengers came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if? I'm not sure.
I've heard that's just going to be like one-off stories about like what if in the entire Infinity Saga. Let's say what if.
Thanos was a good guy.
Yeah, or what if Captain Hydra is what if Captain America actually is playing Captain Hydra?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It says it's an animated series. It'll be an animated series.
Is it only mostly animated?
What we know, question mark. I mean,
yeah.
If we can believe everything we see on the internet. But I like that concept.
Hey, if it's on the internet, it must be real, right?
Clearly. Hawkeye. You Jeremy Renner guy?
I liked his performance. Like, apparently... I just read this today that Haley Steinfeld is going to be up for Kate Bishop, and
I love
my God,
Haley Steinfeld is gorgeous. And if I may, are you ready for a hot take?
Okay, let's do this.
It's pretty hot and not Marvel oriented.
Okay.
Pitch Perfect 2.
Jesus,
the last sing off between the Bellas and DOS Sound Machine. DOS Sound Machine, the bad guys from Germany, got hosed. Absolutely hosed.
I'll take your word for it.
The Barton Bellas did not win that, and if anybody who's anybody, watch that movie. Tell me I'm wrong, because guess what? I'm not. So, moving on. Oh, sorry, I blacked out for a minute.
Very assertive there. Your face went like white, and your eyes were rolling in the back of your head.
Oh, like the Undertaker.
Undertaker, you know.
Recording again. Yay. So yeah, the Undertaker has powers over the light system of every arena he goes into. And he could sit up real quick.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
And show up only on every other WrestleMania and make millions of dollars.
Undertaker because he's so fucking old.
So old, and he's a redhead.
That's true. Yes, it was always a dye job. Just hate to burst your bubble.
Nah, that's okay. He's not. I guess he is from hell. Or parts unknown. Sorry.
Fucking ginger. Okay.
Ew. Gross. So, I'll get a little deep with you. If it weren't for villains or absolute evil, what use do we have for superheroes? Would they cease to be relevant if everything's all hunky-dory, if everybody gets participation awards and there's no badness whatsoever? Without villains, what are heroes? Right? Yeah.
So that's kind of like saying without evil, what is good? You know.
We don't know the difference.
Yeah, that's
true.
We would
just be,
drooling
morons, incapable of feeling anything.
I mean, you're getting into the debate of whether or not evil is necessary for good to exist.
I'd say they can't exist without one another.
The balance. So we're going in Star Wars.
There is a balance. Yeah. There is a balance.
Yeah.
Not talking midichlorians. We'll have another Star Wars one. All right,
don't mention that. That word is outlawed.
A few more.
That word is verboten.
The M word.
Yeah. Verboten. No mention.
Your favorite villain. Y por qué?
Ooh.
Su favorito. Villano favorito.
A tie between Venom and Joker.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
What about actors?
Favorite actors to play?
Acting villains, I guess. Mine is number one, of course, Heath Ledger's Joker, followed closely by Thanos, Josh Brolin.
Brolin is a great villain.
So good.
In all of the movies, let's see. Ian McKellen was a great Magneto, I think.
He was good.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah.
Kind of a anti-hero. I mean, when he's Michael Fassbender, the Malcolm X, if we're getting to these societal parallels.
He's Malcolm X, and Professor X is
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King Jr. Woo! It's very obvious what they are, yeah.
Maybe not to some folk.
Some folk don't know that.
Let's just hit it on the nose. Y'all don't say that. And last question. Have you seen The Boys on Prime yet?
I haven't. I heard it's good.
It's pretty good. It's a twisted... It's a twisted take on it.
Evil, right?
Yeah, they're all scumbags, but they're kind of like NFL athletes. They get there's the main 7, and then there's kind of smaller heroes, but they all get contracted out to go to this city or that city.
All right.
Movies, they're in movies, they're in everything, but
they're
real
celebrities too. Okay.
Yeah, they're celebrities, but they're all pieces of shit. They're all pieces of shit, Morty. You watch Rick and Morty?
No, I don't. What's that even on? Is that Cartoon Network?
Adult Swim, but it's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's
I
worth
don't have
it.
Hulu,
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
worth it, my man. Well, you have means. You have means.
But that's a whole other topic we can get into
All
about
right.
why I don't jump on certain shows. It was reinforced with the ending of Game of Thrones. That's another podcast, I guess.
Yeah. So would you say that overriding the popularity of a show, if everybody's about it, they're all drinking the punch, does that turn you off?
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little counterculture on that. I haven't watched Stranger Things
Just
yet.
to spite the masses.
Somewhat just to spite, but also because I don't want to get sucked in, man. We're talking about...
But if they're that...
We're talking about, let's say there's 3 seasons, 13 episodes. That's a lot of time to commit to watching something you're not really into.
Stranger Things for sure worth it, though.
See, you're turning me off even
I
more.
know I'm turning you off, but riddle me this. Just
Yes.
because of its popularity, does that take away from its content or how good it is just because
No.
of this
No,
this
but
pre-
I'm
feeling you
not.
have?
I'm in the minority here that doesn't like long form entertainment like that. Besides, like the interconnected Marvel
You're more of like you
universe.
want movies.
I love movies. Yeah, I can withstand a 4-hour movie like Kill Bill, but 13 hours.
So,
Ugh.
sorry,
Yeah.
you're a fan of stories. We talked about
Yes,
how
yeah.
every hero, video games. We're looking at Middle Earth. We're looking at comic books
Oh, that's
around the
nice, man. I didn't see
lunchbox.
that.
Oh yeah, it's good. All these are stories, right?
Yeah.
And what stories, when you can resonate with them the most, is when you allow them to develop. So that's why shows have that something that movies can't really hit on because they only have you for an hour and a half, up to 2
Yeah.
hours. When shows, you can see characters develop, you
But-
can see rising tension, and then when something happens, you're like, holy shit.
The flip
Especially-
side, yeah. I mean, there's shock moments in every series especially the Netflix series that I
Oh, yeah.
watched, all the Marvel ones. But like, I feel that there's also filler in there, and there's
There
there's
is.
a lot of back and forth. The emotional arc of the characters isn't always consistent. Big problem with Iron Fist is it kept flailing back and forth.
You
between,
need to get off just you're on the Marvel wagon. There's
I am.
other shows there that Breaking Bad.
I'm going to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Only 5 seasons.
I know.
And
It's on Netflix, and I have access to that thanks
There
to
you
your
go.
to your broham.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely that's why you got to find shows that are worth your while.
Yeah.
Because there are shows, say Game of Thrones. There's like a whole season in the middle there that's like this episode did further the storyline, but nothing that a recap of the next episode couldn't accomplish.
Yeah.
There are. I agree with
Game
you.
of
There are
Thrones wasn't
fillers.
as bad because most of it was only 10 episodes, and I was able to bang that out in a month.
Yep.
Because there was this girl I was trying to bang also
Woo!
that was into it.
Means
and,
to an end, baby.
It did not work.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
So
No,
no,
it's okay.
Anyways,
That's okay.
anyways, yeah. So, but I'm very glad that I didn't waste years on my life waiting for that show to in between seasons.
It's
I'm
good
very
just
glad.
to very bingeable.
Yeah.
too. It makes
It's
you want to keep
bingeable,
watching.
yes.
There's some amazing
That's
episodes in
sometimes
there.
that's another reason why I sometimes wait for a series to end so I can just watch it, binge it out, and be like, it was okay, or oh my god, this was awesome. Mm-hmm. Like I really liked the first season of Jessica Jones, like you were saying.
Yeah.
The first 2 Daredevil, Luke Cage, meh.
That one was kind of
Yeah.
that one fell short for me. As did Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, meh. Defenders is awesome. I actually wanted more episodes. They only put out 8.
I would
wanted
need
more.
to rewatch that one. Punisher. Did you like Punisher at all, John Bernthal?
First one, yeah.
First one. Second
Yeah.
one was like.
Second one's okay, but it's just retreading. I felt
It's
like retreading
it's,
shit.
It's the same. It's
Yeah.
season 1 again.
It's basically
Ooh, Jigsaw!
Yeah, it's basically retreading the whole story of season 1, and like he finally only becomes Punisher and puts on this freaking skull at the very end of the
I
freaking
know.
thing. He
But-
goes,
but he-
I'll dance with you.
He's just grunting and yelling the whole time. Like, oh, Johnny.
Yeah.
Loved him in Fury.
Fury. Oh yeah,
So good.
Best job I've ever had.
Best job ever.
Also
Lord.
great in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's good in
Yeah,
that. I guess
sell
he
me-
really punched.
Sell me this pen.
Yeah, give me the pen. Yeah, there you
No,
go.
no. Okay, god damn it, you can't quote
What
movies
does he
for
say?
shit.
I quote
Okay.
movies.
I-
What does he say?
that's-
I've seen.
I'm sorry.
I only have a spare 20 hours to watch Wolf of Wall Street once
I
in my life.
apologize. Ooh.
I'm all excited.
Why are you double fisting there?
Huh? I'm holding on to the
Okay,
mic.
anyways, but no, he's
What's the
like,
quote? What's the quote?
Okay, so DiCaprio is trying to get someone to sell him the pen, right?
Sure.
So Bernthal grabs it and goes, do me a favor, write your name down for me. And DiCaprio goes, well, I need a pen. And he goes, well, here you go.
Very good. I could only watch that movie once, and I almost didn't make it.
Really? That movie
4
is-
hours is too long
No,
for
Wolf of Wall
anyone
Street
sitting.
is not 4 hours.
3.5 at least. It's more than what I would
When you're
ever
watching
want
a
to
good
dedicate.
movie, time flies by.
No
You ever
movie-
watch-
no
you ever
movie
watch
should be
the
3
whole,
hours.
The whole Kill Bill saga, like not back to back, but there's a cut of it called The Whole Bloody Affair. You ever watch that?
No, it just weaves in. Well, that's different. Wolf of
Awesome.
Wall Street, like if something's action oriented.
it's
Well, no,
close to
that's
4
two
hours.
movies. That's 2 movies. I will not watch it in one sitting. That's 2 movies. I can't.
Tarantino says they're one movie, all right?
3.5 hours
Yeah.
to 3:45 possibly, whatever it is. That's too much for me for one sitting.
See, we're on the opposite spectrum then, because I can do that, but
can do it?
I can't like put 6 hours into a show.
I mean, I could do Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, 2.5 or whatever. But when you're passing the 3-hour mark,
I can watch the theatrical cut of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
The extended. Oh my God,
that's
no.
that's a bit much. That is
Yeah.
asking a tall order. I mean, if Endgame, I'd be like, if it was 8 hours.
Trying to say there with that tall older boy.
It's a reference. I was about to say
Trying
reference.
to say I'm short. Is
No.
Good.
Jesus Christ. Chops. That's low hanging fruit. Ah! God. These jokes. The twin to the question about like superheroes in society. Why as society do we need heroes? Like in every culture, whether it's the religion, it's lore, say it's Greek gods or Egyptian, or there's African tribes, or the heroes of Native American tribes, or anything like that. There's
think it's
always
about
super
the-
powers-esque.
It's always about, well, I mean, you have a protagonist who has to overcome something major. He needs powers to do that usually. But I think it's also going back to the thing about how we want justice, but it's also, like, especially with religion, those stories existed at a time when people didn't know what right and wrong was. They're meant to guide you. Yeah. They're always about guidance.
Why would I think for myself when I can let somebody else think for me?
Because people
That's
couldn't think for themselves back then.
2019 America. Why think for yourself when you can just take everything for face value and just let?
Why have a rational opinion when you can just get outraged about everything?
Just get outraged, or it's just there's so many.
Or boil everything down to a soundbite. Let's not
It's a soundbite,
dissect anything.
Or instead of doing your own research, you hear one person spew out some possibly big words, and you're like, okay, I believe everything they say now because they use big words and say things in very profound and literate ways. Therefore, I'm going to devote myself to them instead of doing any other
I think
research.
it's more of the opposite now in America is the
What's
problem. Is that the stupidest guy is the loudest and people tend to follow him.
Oh, that's I've said this before in the podcast. It's say we have a difference of opinions. I will get 3 or 4 other people that think exactly like me, and we're going to yell at you to the point where we can't hear your opinion, and the louder we get makes us more righter.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into
More
because I think we were discussing this one night when we were throwing back some beers, and
Oh, yes.
you were talking to a certain lady that I won't mention. And she was she got very upset after I mentioned that. Yeah, we all have our opinions, but there's a rightness. There is a
You called it objective truth.
objective truth
I hear you.
above. Yeah, and for me right now, I know I'm playing into what you're saying, but there's one side that's right and there's one side that's wrong. Clearly in America right now.
Do you think that's relative though? I mean,
It is
well,
relative.
I hear what you say though. Like
That's why I'm playing into it.
to the like a Klan member.
Yeah.
This country is so far gone right now because black people are able to go to school and drink out of drinking fountains and get jobs.
And saying that guy is entitled to his opinion, I think, is a false equivalency.
That sucks.
Yeah.
He has that opinion. I would like to like skin him alive, right?
Yeah.
But as much
like,
as it sucks, it's like
I
yeah,
know.
you have your opinion, but it's a slippery slope to say you're not allowed to have your opinion.
No,
Klan
no,
member.
and I don't want people
That's
to not
tough.
have an opinion. That would be fascist of me. And a lot of stuff that's going on the left right now, to me, is very fascist. So
It's working in San Francisco for a while. It's been nice to come back home and getting just hearing difference of opinions because over there it's a bubble, right? And everybody it's happy go lucky. I mean, there's good people there that
there's extremes on both sides. Like,
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
so polarized now.
and they shit all over everybody that thinks rationally in the center.
that tries to be either in the middle or left center or right center or whatever you want to do.
Or it's like when's the last time you're able to sit and have a conversation with somebody that you disagree with, but instead of trying to convince them that they're wrong, you hear them out, maybe have a rational discussion, and then once you hear their side, you're now armed with their opinion in your knowledge bank, and you're able to refute it.
That's where
XYZ. It's like,
I mean,
okay, I hear you, I understand what you're
But then
saying.
they take that refutal or rebuttal as, no, you're wrong.
It doesn't have to be violent. It doesn't have to get aggressive or anything.
it doesn't.
It always gets heated.
I know.
Always.
I mean, I would say the problem is right now we're in such a abnormal time in this country where
You said it's polarizing.
Yeah, very polarizing.
It's either left
Very, very
100
polarizing.
or 0. It's
Yeah, I mean, but this is such a unique time right now where truth doesn't matter, like facts don't matter.
It's whoever says whatever
Yeah.
first, and then people are so desperate to cling on to an opinion or an idea, regardless if it's right or not, or if they even identify with it. It's like, okay, here's what I believe in.
And I know. But like I said, a lot of stuff that's happening on the left side is very, like, you're taking it too extreme. You're knee-jerking to the opposite end of the spectrum just to, like, try and piss them off.
When you're radical on either side,
Yeah.
you suck. I don't like it. But
I agree with that, actually.
if you have to live that way to make yourself feel fulfilled or like you're worth a damn, then unfortunately, you can do what you got to do. But that really sucks that you live in such an angry and frustrated lifestyle.
You can't fix stupid. Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. So here's my overall thinking of like what's happened in the past. Yes, I'm speaking as a white man. Oh God. Oh, because I get my white privilege checks in the mail every month. Wrong. So when I went to New Orleans. We went to a plantation. And first I was a little salty.
Preserved for posterity or something?
Preserved. It was beautiful. This house, it's called Oak Alley.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
But it's like a tourist destination.
Yeah. You take a tour through the house and you learn about these pieces of shit, the white slavers, and how the house got moved down from family to family, everything that happened, the Civil War. They had all they weren't the slave houses from back then, but they made them as such. And it's just to show what it was like. They had facts and everything, and I was just like, why am I learning about all these cocksuckers? I hate them all.
Yeah.
Why am I learning about this? And then leaving, I had a different mindset. I was like, I'm glad they preserved this so well. It is as beautiful as it was back in the 1800s. Why? Because I'll be damned, we cannot forget that happened.
Exactly. I was
You
gonna say,
cannot
can't-
forget.
yeah.
Do not erase that from history just because it offends you or whatever. It sucks. It's a huge dark mark on the United States history.
I would say that one thing that needs to go away is the Confederate flag and all the assholes that still
Confederate
fly it.
flag. So an old coach of mine went to school down in the South, and he said that's more of a symbol of pride. But at the same time,
No.
it's like, yeah, it's pride, but it's also representative.
It's a representation of treason to me.
It's their treason. It's all bad. It just shows it again. Don't forget it. Accept it. Acknowledge it, and then we move forward together.
Yeah, so like what I was going to say, it's important that you learned about that because those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it, is the famous saying. Yeah,
You can't ignore anything. Like
you can't. So I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I wouldn't say tear down all the plantations or tear down Auschwitz or anything like that. They need to be preserved for people because like
you need to see it. There's the people that deny that the Holocaust happened.
Yeah, exactly.
You need
the deniers
to.
that fucking still say it's a conspiracy. Go to Germany and see the camps
When there's literally survivors with tattoos.
with the tattoos on their arms. I think that away. I'm not sure if anyone's still alive from that. I'm sure we'll get comments. But the most famous guy who wrote that book, I know he died.
Elie Wiesel.
Yeah,
He
I know
passed
he's
away.
dead, yeah, but it's important to learn from history. What was I trying to articulate here?
Doomed to repeat it, or it's just you walk around like an ignorant stooge.
So just because we're preserving these monuments to our dark side doesn't mean that we need to take pride in symbols that are associated with that. Yeah.
Are we going to destroy the pyramids because they're built by slaves?
Yeah.
Right? How far are we willing to take it? We can't erase history. It happened. This country was raped and pillaged and just ripped out of the hands of all the Native Americans through blood, bullets, and broken promises.
Yeah.
That is all it is. And they have casinos now. Hooray! And when I was driving through Utah and Arizona, when I went through, it was like, I think a Navajo reservation.
Like a real one, yeah.
It was the most third world, just awful sight I've ever. It was just dirty.
Yeah.
And the people looked like they lived in squalor. And it was just, I felt
this is a
so
state where they're not
bad.
allowed to build casinos, right? Or something
I
like that.
think so. Like, there's nothing. There's trailers.
Yeah.
There were scraps of tin and trailers everywhere. And I was just, how does this proud civilization get reduced to this in 2019? It was just hard to watch.
Unfortunately, it was like death by 1,000 cuts. Like we kept taking
God.
a little here and a little there and a little there, and everyone gets mad about Avatar because it's basically a story about Pocahontas. And
That's what I thought it
Yeah.
was too. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's a great movie, but it is a parable about how if the tribes had come together to overcome their differences, they could have forced the whites out.
For a time, but
Yeah,
I know the
I
white
mean,
man was coming. And he wasn't
The
stopping.
arc of history, it was like, no, this is the new world, and we're coming.
Yeah, you can't beat guns and
Yeah.
greed.
That's
Guns and greed. America, yeah. My one grievance with Avatar Unobtainium, come on. Dude, there's an element in my book. Omnivium. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
All right, I'm getting a little insight. No?
Lay the science on us, dude.
The science. All right. How do you get ideas? They just come to you, right? You can't just be like, I'm going to get an idea right now. You have epiphanies. You
Can't
have
force it, yeah.
just there's an element in our heads, and that is our connection because it's entangled particles, right?
Okay.
And they exist both in the third and fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is infinity. That's where emotions. That's where ideas come from, and that's like in this book. That's where we're able to channel it.
Human consciousness.
Yeah, human consciousness into the
Or
infinite.
the soul, spirit, whatever
The
you want to call
souls
it. Yeah.
live there. Emotion, like when somebody's staring at you and you look over at the same time and you just know somebody's staring at you. That's a mental rebound through the fourth dimension of that's our connection.
I've heard there's like when you stare at someone intensely, there's some kind of electric current that your brain picks up on to know you're being stared at. So
there's something there, man. So that's what I'm trying to play into a little bit with this book.
Go back to that metal you were talking about. What's it called again?
Omnivium.
It's
is
this a real thing?
A super
they
solid.
Discovered or something?
No, it's my discovery.
Ah.
I'm world building, bitch.
Wait,
I'm
are you just
heroes.
mad at the name Unobtainium or what?
Where's the creativity? You come up with one of the greatest movies of all time, Unobtainium.
They're not the first. They're
Please.
not the first to use that term, actually.
Unobtainium?
Yeah, I
Disgusting.
think it's been in a few movies.
Boo, I say, James
So,
Cameron,
yeah.
you're better than that.
You lazy fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
You tremendous writer. You
hate
fucking
it.
Terminator 2, Avatar. Fuck you.
Linda Hamilton. Chops, I gotta say, this has
also
been
Aliens
a
and
delightful.
Abyss. Don't forget those.
I will
and
not.
True Lies.
I will not. I love True Lies.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, True Lies. All right, we'll have another episode. We've scheduled about 20 more episodes of Star Wars and other movies and such, but for now, let's draw this one to a close.
Star Wars, Netflix, what else? A whole bunch of stuff.
There's a lot of. It's like the porn industry. We're just coming out with more content all the
It's
time.
coming everywhere. I'll come wherever I want.
Not in here. Not up in here. But anyways, let's we're gonna wrangle this one in like White Goodman in Dodgeball. That him taking the bull by the horns. This podcastable. We're gonna wrangle it in. We're gonna tie it up, lasso it, sir. There's a handshake going on here. Thank you very much. And then the sign off. Are you ready for it? Everybody, take all this info. Just remember, as always, live before you die.
It's been a pleasure tapping it. I just want to reiterate.
A pleasure
that.
tapping it.
Yeah.
Always
with you. Should we do the Eiffel Tower?
Eiffel. Oh, we just tap.
Now you know what I'm saying.
Disgusting. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Bye bye.